Hey guys, this is Gren. I apologize about the last video just cutting out. My camera apparently ran out of space on me, but I got that taken care of. So I am back. So this is the rest of the patch note that I was reading in the last video. Um, uh, I made sure to kind of keep it where it was at and whatnot, so that way when I came back we so let's continue this, but I greatly apologize, but let's continue, shall we? Bug fixes audio. Fix an issue where the crackling sound and the smoke of the entity appeared early when damaging a generator. Fix an issue where when recalled Victor disappears abruptly and the grunts linger for 5 seconds. Fix an issue where the Knight's tear radius will briefly stop when control returns to the main body after using the power. Fix an issue where the SFX up for the ghoul successfully latching onto a survivor was missing. Bots. Fix an issue where bots miss every skill check. That's kind of funny to think about. Especially since bots are better than most players, or at least that's what a lot of us say. Characters. Fix an issue where the Shape's slaughtering strike attack would not break pallets if the power button was released too soon. Fix an issue which allowed the shape to turn further than intended when using Slaughtering Strike. To be honest, that wouldn't be an issue for me. That would have actually be a buff for me, because my frustration when I tried that out in the PB was the turn rate. It did not feel good for me to turn. And then I saw, like, I think a day, sometime after that PTB or something, I saw a YouTuber who's played this game a lot longer than I have. I saw a YouTube short where they were trying it out, and they made it look so easy. Even when I was watching Orange's video where he tried it out, he made it look so easy. So I guess skill issue, but which is fair, but also the turn rate for me personally did not feel good at all. So it really sucks that was seen as an issue that got fixed, because that would have been like a huge thing for me to feel more comfortable and whatnot, to actually like play as him and control him and whatnot. So that kind of sucks. Fix an issue where a camera was briefly stuck for a few frames when the Legion started and manually ended Feral Frenzy. Fix an issue where the dredge appears brighter inside a fog vial smoke during the nightfall. Fix an issue where the hack scarred hand add-on blocked the killer when the trap was triggered. So I guess a lot of these are just little, so far at least, are just little bug fixes that happened with powers and or add-ons or not, which are good to fix. Some of these are obviously bigger deals than others, but that's kind of just what happens when you fix bugs. Fix the issue where the hacks, I don't know if I can legally say that on YouTube. Fix an issue where the hacks Pussy Willow Catkins add-on, God, it feels weird saying that, revealed survivors for only 1 second. Fix an issue where all survivors lost the Skull Merchant's Claw Trap when one survivor's Claw Trap escaped from the trial. Fix an issue where players could experience some stuttering while playing as the Dark Lord in bat form. Fix an issue where the Hillbilly would stutter and be sent back when breaking pallets or walls using the low pro chains add-on was high latency. Add-on was high latency. Fix an issue where survivors would be temporarily stuck in an animation while dropping a pallet during the ghoul's grab attack. Fix an issue where the animatronic's axe reimagined in its hand if it got stunned while aiming. Fix an issue where the animatronic's axe appeared to be on the ground during the remove axe interaction. Fix an issue where Snow VFX appeared inside the animatronic's security room while traversing in the Ormond maps. Fix an issue where the Crossew's glowing mushrooms could spawn inside closed exit gates. Fix an issue where the Crossew's head was briefly detached from her body after vaulting from a height. Fix an issue where survivors that were being healed could not be hit by the Crossew's intestinal whip attack. Fix an issue where the Knight's Carnifex guard could not break pallets. Fix an issue where the Knight's guards could become stuck when damaging generators that were being blocked by the entity at the same time. Fix an issue where the artist's Dire Crow's damage was impacted by drop pallets collision at close range. Fix an issue where the Death Slinger's harpoon break free meter went up too quickly when reeling near a corner or edge wall. I suck as Death Slinger. I think I freak hit as him once, but like, God, that harpoon breaking thing, like, when I go up against Death Slingers, I can't break free to save my life. But when I place them, everybody breaks free easily, and I never get a kill, and it's frustrating. Fix an issue where setting the invert y-axis option as the twins did not affect Victor. Fix an issue where survivors could solve the alignment configuration before removing chains attached to them. Environment/maps. Fix a collision issue on the RCPD stairs that caused the Hellmaster chase action to sometimes be wasted, as the dock could be partially and sometimes completely blocked. Fix an issue where lighting appears darker on the spectator POV for the following maps: Greenville Square, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, Fallen Refuge, and Ormond Lake Mine. Fix an issue where going into the basement makes lighting darker for the player for the rest of the match. For the following maps: Greenville Square, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, Fallen Refuge, and Ormond Lake Mine. Fix an issue in Colon Farm where a survivor would clip through a locker. Fix an issue in the underground complex where players could vault on both sides of a hole. Fix an issue in Badham Preschool where the knight was not able to create a path with the guard on a street curb. Fix an issue with the Hellmaster camera clipping in the body of the character. Fix an issue in the underground complex where the character stood too close to the chest. They could not pick up the item. Fix an issue in the Garden of Joy where Victor could jump out of the map. That's kind of funny. Fix an issue in Deadlock Saloon where the Nightmare would teleport out of the map. That's also kind of funny. Fix an issue on Lake Mine where a pallet was floating. That's also kind of funny. Perks, baby. We are slowly nearing the end. Fix an issue where batteries included activates when traveling through the animatronic security door while a generator is repaired. Fix an issue where diversion was unable to recharge when the terrorist is transferred to animatronics acts, reducing the fast going on. Fix an issue where haywire might not activate if a survivor gets the exit gate switched to 99%. Fix an issue where Bardic Inspiration dice roll appeared halfway for the song. Fix an issue where the radial timer of Vigil's external perk icon was missing whenever survivors left the perk's range. Fix an issue where Tenacity's haste bonus stats effect icon was missing while in the dying state. Fix an issue where Conviction activated was any self-recovery perk from the dying state. Fix an issue where the knight was unable to activate Thwack when destroying a pallet using a guard order. Fix an issue where the SFX of the creative palette could be heard when canceling apocalyptic ingenuity. Fix an issue where holding the run button could trigger permanent exhaustion against Mindbreaker. Platforms. We are slowly nearing the end here. Fix an issue where the holiday get-together achievement / trophy could be unlocked when hooking the same survivor in the basement 3 times. Fix an issue where players were unable to gain progress on the man behind the bush achievement / trophy. I still don't have that one. I'm missing a number of... I think I'm missing 2 of them. I got 1 still. And that's one of them. Quests. Fix an issue where players were unable to gain progress on the Tome 4 Level 2 Killer Challenge Evil Omen. I don't know which one that is off the top of my head, but good to fix that. That's also an old tome. Wow, that's interesting. UI. Fix an issue that could cause a crash when repeatedly pressing D-pad right in some menus while waiting in a 2v8 queue. Oh yeah, that's right, 2v8's ongoing. The fact they already fixed the 2v8 issue is crazy. Fix an issue where failing to find a tutorial bot match would disable some menus. Fix an issue where switching from mouse to gamepad would snap the cursor in the corner of the screen. Miscellaneous. Fix an issue where game freezes during Blood Web bulk purchase that included disabled item. Fix an issue where the trial would end abruptly when the animatronic performed an axe grab on a survivor at the same time they were being sacrificed in the endgame collapse. Fix an issue where idle crows on top of lockers were using the wrong idle animation. Fix an issue where flag valves were misaligned in survivors' hands in the trial. None issues. The Legion continues to play the frenzy animation when grabbing a survivor from a locker on failed frenzy. Occasionally, bots might fail to use burst for the duration of the trial. Alright guys, well now we have read everything, so my final thoughts are kind of meh. This just sounds like a meh PTB to me, in my opinion. A lot of bug fixes, which is always good, but like the big things are meh. It sounds to me like the Skull Merchant rework might not be happening this year. This is kind of the last time they could have done it before December, and they touched her, but they only made the version that a lot of people say is the gutted version of the character. They only buffed that version of the character due to, I think they said it was like low kill rates and low pick rates. Nobody wants to pick the character right now, which is kind of the reason, which them trying to buff the character that nobody, like this gutted version, I don't think is really going to help that at all, or at least very much. I mean, if she's a little bit better, I mean, that's good, but I think everyone just really wants that rework to happen, which they said earlier in the year would be, happening this year just towards the end, and we still don't have it. It still isn't here. We still haven't heard anything about it. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, that change sounded meh to me. The Michael one was nice. The pinheads was nice. The other big thing in this pack though would have been the tunneling reduction update and the slugging one. The tunneling reduction update sounded meh to me, if I'm being honest with you. At least on paper, it sounded meh. The survivor like unhook protection update thing isn't. It's a nerfed version of what it was, and it just doesn't sound super interesting to me. The new version, it's just kind of whatever. It's like a few more things added on top of what we already have in the game, which is fine, but it's just kind of meh sounding to me. And then the killer didn't really get a change. Like the killer update in this is so. It's literally just one thing. Obviously you get more blood points at the end of the trial, but like the only thing they did was you get tier 1 bloodlust for a number of seconds if you chase someone that wasn't the last person you hooked, which is interesting, but I feel like that's even less and in some ways kind of worse than what we already had. Because at least like what we had before, like the killers got a ton of buffs, survivors got a ton of things, and then this, they have the scale backs on the survivor stuff, which I think is fair because a lot of people were complaining about that. But the killer, it feels like the killer just got shafted even harder, at least when you're reading this on paper. They only got like one change, and sure, it's a good change, and it's nice that if you play as like killers who use their power to gain a lot of movement, it makes sense that they don't get the bloodlust because they don't need it. But like, yeah, just it sounds meh to me. It doesn't sound good at all. So yeah, I'm really hoping that I want to hear what other people have to say on the tunneling stuff, because to me it just sounds meh. It just doesn't sound good at all. It feels like they're gonna, to me at least, it comes across as they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board, which sucks because, as I mentioned in part 1, I made a YouTube short recently complaining about tunneling and slugging because that was a killer player that basically made that their whole personality. And I was really hoping that the next time they updated the systems, we would get something like good, something substantial, something good to try to get rid of that, and this just doesn't sound it to me. I could be wrong, and I'd like to hear other people's opinions, but to me, at least from what I just read, it sounds mad to me. It doesn't sound good at all. Slugging reduction update, on the other hand, is a little bit more interesting. The resolve bar, I know that got, that came back from the first attempt. I know that one has some, changes, and it sounds interesting, to be honest with you. I get that they wanted it to only affect like hardcore, like really bad situations. I get that a lot because you don't want to, like, I get that they don't want to punish the killer players who are playing the game more like not toxically. They just might not be picking you up immediately due to like deal with another survivor that might be trying to get like a save or something. I completely understand that at a lot. So I think that makes sense. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I will say between the two systems, I like the slugging reduction update leagues more than I like the tunneling one. But that's just me personally. The dying state stuff is kind of interesting. How you can like crawl a little bit faster as time goes on was the slugging one. The fact that you get more progress as a survivor due to more of your teammates being in the dying state, I think is interesting as well. Though it makes sense to kind of have something like that, just due to the fact that, you're all kind of dying, just laying there dying anyway. So it's nice that that's going to be a thing. The hook improvements, stuff as well. That's also kind of a part of that is interesting as well. But yeah, I'm not sure if any of this is going to work. Um, I hope so, but we'll see. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell. Do all the algorithmic garbage. It helps us out a lot. It means a lot to us. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Bye.